Greetings, fellow Salt and Saucers, and welcome to another video on solo RPGs. Today I want to bring to you something really offbeat and different. It is a solo design specifically called the Bird Oracle. Now unfortunately today I won't have the physical book to show you because, well, internal shipping being what it is, it was a little prohibitive for me to acquire. I do have the PDF. And in any case, this is not the kind of story which I would necessarily want to do a flip through with you or show you too much of the book, because much of the experience comes from reading the story it takes you through. That's a bit mysterious. Let's back up a bit. So, the Bird Oracle, as described by the creator, is a game about divination and multi-level marketing schemes. It is for people who love snooping through drawers and archives, for people who read advice columns and think they can do better. It is also a game about lineage and duty, the fraught relationship with your own wants and need, and the complicated relationship with the oracle before you. It is also definitely an oracle-based MLM recruiting pitch going on. The Bird Oracle is a keepsake game that guides you through the creation of a physical object as part of the process of playing the game. The game will narratively guide you through the process of creating your own personal bird-themed divination system filled with symbols and meanings that are centered on your character's experiences, using beautifully designed and unique divination devices as you begin your journey as a new Bird Oracle. That was a lot. Basically, what this game is, this experience is the process of walking you through a story. And a bit like a choose your own adventure, almost, I want to say. Now, this seems like a really weird parallel, but instead of being an action resolution where like you roll for dice and see if you succeed or fail, what this is prompts, and then the game guides you through the creation of a bit of an oracle system in which you throw the prompts and then address what comes up in a story. This all sounds very mysterious. Bear with me here. Basically, the way this starts is you've been taken by an apprentice. So I will show you this little bit because, I mean, it doesn't spoil a whole lot of the story. But basically, this game doesn't have, like many role-playing game will begin with like instruction, this is how you play the game. This is not how this game goes. This goes basically, was a bit of an intro, you know, what you'll need. But after that is just the story. The Bird Oracle is gone. She was supposed to teach you how to do this, but she's not here now. You showed up at her doorstep on your first day as her apprentice, and her small cottage is empty. And here's the Bird Oracle cottage, number 52. So this is how this starts. And basically, you end up with letters from the Bird Oracle, where she's sort of, I don't know, remote teaching you how to do the job. And the way this goes, roughly, over the course of the game, you'll end up crafting a number of things. And again, I don't want to spoil too much. But the basis of the Oracle system is that you end up with a bunch of objects, all of which spilled off camera. Yay! There we go. A bunch of little objects that you are encouraged to find around your own house. You know, some of these, like these twigs here, actually gathered walking around near my house because, you know, she suggested a couple long objects to act as dividers. And then various objects to represent different things, small ones. And when later in the game you end up with, well, I'll say most of the time it's a letter from the Divination Association asking you to basically divine an answer for a querent. You can choose which object to throw. So for example, if someone, I'm going to try to take an example that's not in a book. Again, I don't want to really spoil too much of the story. But say someone was coming at me saying they had a fight with their husband and it was about whose turn it was to make dinner and they want to know if they were in the right or the wrong and what's going on. So I might take, you know, two different objects to represent two people. I used to die a lot. I use dice for representing people in this. So, you know, we could have a wife and a husband, and whether or not they're in this together or divided. You know, this could represent softness, gentleness, love. This could be like the anger or passion. What could I have to represent dinner? I don't know. Maybe this, pretend this is snail, right? And then you would basically go here on this throwing cloth and you would drop the items. And based on where they fall, you would basically divine or tell the story. So you could say, listen, like I can see that you and your husband are still close together. There's a lot of love, but also a bit of resentment building. This is really not about dinner. This is about something else, and you need to explore that. Again, this is just like again, the book walks you through sort of ideas of like, if the objects are together or separated or what's near them. And this throwing surface that I have here, this piece of paper, is actually divided into quadrants. Each quadrant represents different elements. So I could go deeper and say, oh, I see your boat into the air area. So that could mean like, you know, you kind of want to be more free. Maybe this anger here has to do with how like tied down in routine you are. And I don't know, I'm doing stuff. But basically this is how you generate clues or cues for how you, as a player, respond to the game. So it's so very novel and cool and fun because, again, as per description, at some point you end up building I should say your own divination system. I really wouldn't attempt to divine. I mean, whatever. I don't find myself to be drawn to that sort of thing, you know, in real life. But it's really fun because you're really just making shit up, which again speaks again to the description of like, you know, advice column. Hey, I have this situation here. What should I do? And then you just throw a bunch of random stuff you found in whichever drawer, or in some of my cases, my kid's bedroom. Because of course, like if you have kids, you know, there's a feather somewhere in your house. You know, so you throw stuff down, see where it falls, and then you just make stuff up. And that's the job of the Oracle. And that's how you approach the game. And as the game advances, you find out more about they call it the lineage of the Oracle. So how your mentor that basically ran away on you, how she came to be here, who she was trained by, who her colleagues are, who this mysterious association is, what's their stake in this game. So there is a story that reveals itself also as you play. So this is not a high necessarily replay value game, but it is such a fun experience. I can't talk too much about the story because a bit like Find Your Own Adventure, well, that has more branches. This is just a linear story. So maybe it's more like taking you through a scenario, an RPG scenario, you know? But again, how you live through it, and at the end, what decision you make with the information you have is entirely up to you. And you're encouraged, of course, to use this throwing divination system to answer the question as to how your character resolves the final problem, if I can put it that way. The book itself, again, I don't have the physical version, but I am very much interested in the way that it's presented. Like, there's a mixture of like, you know, letters. At some point you have clippings of newspapers. Like, it's just very cool. It has a very mysterious feel to it. The chapters also, well, the book is divided also in 12 chapters. So you're encouraged to basically do one a day for 12 days. It's a 12 chapter story. I'll admit I went a little faster than that. On average, I guess I get 2 chapters every day because I just wanted to advance this story, the mystery, but also like the system. So this is a very it's a no prep, jump in, you know, read maybe 4 pages that the day has, do the exercise. Because a lot of the time it will ask you to manipulate your actual environment. Like I said, like actually find things around your house and actually create this little mat here and reflect on what the elements mean to you so that when you throw down, you know, you can interpret your mishmash of stuff and advance your own story. It's so fun. It's super fun. It's super fun. It's super fast playing. It's extremely fascinating. I'm just going to ramble about this. I've never seen anything like it. I guess that's what it is. It is an adventure scenario mystery situation for solo gaming using journaling element where your prompts are derived from random object to which you are encouraged to ascribe arbitrary meanings, but somehow end up making sense. And that's, weirdly enough, the best sales pitch I can do for this game. Again, I'm sorry I can't show you more of the story, but I think it's just part of the experience to live this book, because that's what it is. You're reading a bit of the book, you are doing some, I'll say, exercises that are included, like, oh, what does this word mean to you? Find these kinds of objects, reflect on this idea, and then, you know, answer some mail from Corinth wanting oracle advice. And as you're tidying the cottage, you find out more paperwork from previous oracles, from what happened, and it kind of unveils the, I'll say, slightly sordid history behind the divination association and how your oracle mentor came to be and left. Anyway, fascinating stuff. It's a fun world. It's a fun story to experience. And frankly, I'd have issue not recommending it. This is so very unique, fun, and like I said, like this is the sort of thing I actually look forward to doing it like all day. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go home and see what the next installment of the story, because it reads a little bit like a mystery. Yeah, choose your own adventure in a mystery setting using found objects around your house. If you can find something more original than that, please let me know in the comments, because I really want to try that too. And on that note, I wish you a very good day.